Okay. Microphone. All right. Almost ready. Right, what is good, everybody? What is good?
Ted, my boy, it's gonna be legend. Wait for it. Dairy. Legendary.
We are in the house tonight. Back with some more Final Fantasy XIV. Everybody's week went well. It's my final week off for my long extended break from work, or final days off coming up. No, not the final days that we're talking about in the game. Just final days till I go back to work. All right. I accidentally picked this up the other night. I was trying to close out. I accidentally clicked on it, so I already know where I gotta go. To the west. Okay. I thought there were 2 Aetherite shards I could touch over this way, but one may be a little bit further out. I'll have to go find that one here in a minute. Let's see, how am I coming along the currents here? Okay, I got 2 ether currents. One's a little bit further to the west. Still pick up. The quests are light. They are light. Looks like we got one more area to still visit. You can't just drive off there. Got a bit of a drive, don't we? Hey, what up, Jody? Jody, you're a different kind of ball hogging tonight, right? This is legal ball hogging. I hope your night's going well. Friday's going well. From what I can tell, a lot of people actually live down here. I don't know how much help we can offer, but I dare say they'll benefit from some of that fresh inspiration. Scholar Monty Carnage method. Monty Carnage. I don't even know how to say that word. Mentioned. Let's start by asking around, ideally without getting anyone in anyone's way. I'm sorry if I sound a little draggy. I had to take some different measures for my itchy skin, and I've popped the Benadryl. And although it does help me sleep, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night, but I did nod off earlier this afternoon. The first dose and the second dose, I can feel it, but I don't feel like I need to go to sleep. I just feel tired. Let's meet by the Aetherite once our work is done. Okay. What work is this? Oh, there's some blue quest. If it's one thing you're going to do, it's ball hog. Wow, Jody. You about to take a Benadryl yourself? You got allergies? I think this should be a blue quest we probably need to pick up. Yeah, we'll pick this up. We won't linger on it too long. Tomorrow when I'm just want to sleep good, I feel you. I feel you. I think this is the one I already touched. fly fetched. Alright, so we need to go this way. Oh, okay. Gather information. We got 3 people to get information from. Let's see. Helping with the Ark, even with all the power Master Coca-Cola managed to squeeze out of the ether burner, it's still not enough apparently. And now I hear that the final days have arrived. Horrible creatures running rampant all over. If only we had begun the exodus sooner. People are dying, and there'll be no end to it if we do not fulfill our duties. But we will, But we will. We spent many years preparing for this moment, believe in the plan, and all will be well. All will be well. Lord Jesus. All will be well. Okay, let's try that again. Jeez, that was rough. All right, that's one. There's somebody way over there. Can I hop? Nope, can't. Gosh dang it. Okay. All right. Hello. Are you one of the new helpers? Working on the ether burner. Oh dear. I heard things have come to a standstill on that front. Even so, I choose that over my current duties. Checking and loading samples day in and day out. It is tiring, thankless work. Still, no one will be cross if I misplace a few lagoons or what have you. The forum's got enough on their plate as it is, with deciding who gets to board the Ark and when. A lot of powerful people have opinions about that. My heart goes out to Master Fortunat, and the others. Hardly get any moment's rest, I expect. Do they even have time to sleep? Okay, I gotta find one more. Let's go this way. Oh, okay, came up right here. I did all that running around and could have used that steps. Let's see. Ah, look at that. I'm the last person offering to help. That's very kind, but I should be able to organize the rest of the documents by myself. It's mostly list of things we need once we arrive on the moon, and then whichever star we choose as our own home. My duties largely concern the maintenance of living conditions, so I'll be a lot busier after we depart. I hear our lunar collaborators have come down to assist in our efforts. I'm looking forward to finally meeting them in person after having communicated with them in such a limited capacity thus far. To be perfectly honest, I've not even the slightest idea what they look like. I do hope they're not enormous, looming giants. Why, I would much prefer something small and fluffy, like the beheaded rabbit that ran by. That's pretty much what you got, homie. All right. Meet back over by the etherite. Bro, am I missing where this thing is? Oh, it's in here. Bro, where am I at? Oh. It's right there. Tripping. It's right in front of me. Okay, fancy meeting you here, Duran. Our friends in the forum brought us to see their teeny tiny toy boat, which was quite impressive considering they didn't use any creation magics. I'm gonna stop calling our stuff tiny, bro. What we're really interested in is Aether's itself. Though we now find ourselves in sort of a funny underground miniaturized version of it. We're hoping the forum will give us a guided tour, but it appears that they're rather preoccupied. Honestly, all that time to prepare it, and they're still not ready. I suppose we'll just have to show ourselves around, or at least that's what we're planning to do until we chance upon Irianje and your good self. Since you're both dawdling about, engaging in idle chit-chat, perhaps you could show us a few points of interest. Won't that be fun? Bro. You got time to be an Earth tour guide right now. Stuff's coming to an end. Stuff's coming to an end. A tour of Laboratorius. An unexpected yet prudent suggestion. Given the similarities betwixt this artificial environment and Bestway Borough, it would be in our best interest to have the locals acquainted themselves with those conditions deemed optimal by their Charlan collaborators. I fear, however, the continued reliance upon my limited knowledge would risk narrowing rather than broadening their perspectives. Perhaps thou art better suited to lead this venture. Yeah, because that's what I do. I run around and give tours. Good Lord. What a marvelous idea. Might we begin with the great big what's it over there yonder? Ah, yes, that what's it. I shall leave its explanation to Duran. Really? Bro. Dude just left me out to dry. Goodness me, to build something, yeah, he left me out to dry, bruh. Like, he wants me to explain things to these little people. I got stuff to do. Goodness me, to build something so large without creation magic is positively stupendous. Perhaps you could direct our attention to its most important feature. Ghosts don't need no help. What do you... I don't want to be a tour guide, Jody. I don't want to be a tour guide, but I'm being a tour guide. This apparatus for pointing potential interest. You may move. Okay. Yay. Stay still. There. You spotted an ambience, especially lively one. In fact, it would appear that the concept you observed is another time, another place. It was approved for life in the wider world somehow. That was the little fish thing. Okay, look at these tanks. It's no we and team, and ain't no, and ain't no we and team, but there is a me. It's a little hard to see from here, but it is a golden pipe connected to the top of those tanks. And I can see through that window another pipe at the bottom. This must be for purifying water drawn up from below. Okay. Observe mushroom-like things. Metallic tubes. Okay, metallic tubes. Is that water I hear from the inside of the great tube? It is. Must be because of those cogs that are at the giant wheel at the top. Oh, I see. That is how they draw the water up the water. There's probably some sort of spiral-shaped mechanism inside too. Okay, and then we need to look at the mushroom-like thing. Mushroom-like thing. This thing? There we go. Bro, I don't have time for this. We are in drastic need of some other stuff done. That looks like the trees in the greatest Endwalker. Hold on, that is a bit of a strange shape. It is thin at the bottom, but big and round at the top. Quite tall for something so unbalanced too. Now it makes sense. That's where they store the water. Oh man. All right, we got that part done. Well, if I were to hazard a guess from water drawn underground, presumably some would make... My bad, y'all. Hold on. Stupid cursor thing. Water drawn from underground, presumably with some other mechanism, is purified here and stored in that tower before being distributed elsewhere. I'm right, aren't I? That you are. I knew it. A design brilliant in its simplicity. I dare say I would take only a moment to install. It would only take a moment to install, even in the harshest environments. For us Lopers, that is. Loperotis. Indeed, securing a reliable source of water is the utmost importance for any fleeting settlement. We have read, however, that people of Ithrius sometimes make their homes in arid desert and such. How are they able to survive? Many settlements in Thurland are built in the oasis. Areas near waterfall are common sites for villages. Yeah, let's go there. What can I say? I don't have time for all these questions. So, wherever you choose to live, you're never far from water. Oh dear, I worry we won't be able to produce the necessary amount. We can provide enough water to keep them from drying out completely, but it would appear they rely on it far more than we anticipated. What's up, J. Will? Got a lurk, fam? I'll be in and out. All right, no problem. A few adjustments may be in order once we've calculated the average rate of consumption per individual. I mean, bro, you can't really calculate that. Some people drink a ton of water and some people don't. It may also be worth learning more about how exactly they obtain their water in the first place. Master Alphino spoke of the machinery responsible for that feat during our journey through Logistician. I'm not going to pronounce that anymore. Alpha. Did he not? Mayhap the Lodipus will share his appreciation for the engineering marvel. Oh yes, that sounds absolutely splendid. We must journey beyond the sanctuary of the Charlotte Hamlet. I shall lead the way. You mean we'll have to brave the untamed wilderness? A valid concern indeed. We should not help but notice the many dangerous-looking creatures with big, nasty teeth lurking beyond the safe confines of the settlement. We're not escorted. Were we not escorted here by burly custodians, I dread to think that what would have become of us. Regrettably, too many a hungry predator with the aforementioned big, nasty teeth, Loporus may appear to be a potential and rather appetizing source of sustenance. Told them they look like good food. I might impose upon thee to assist in securing a safe passage to that word, Alpha. L Alpha. That's what we're going to call it. L Alpha. For my part, I shall act as an escort to living way, cooking way. I entrust singing way and growing way to thy care. Okay. I guess we're still playing sightsee person. A more valiant protector they could not wish for. Godspeed. If it's all the same to you, I'd rather not to be eaten by some horrid beast. I mean, I agree. Come along, growing way, to the water extraction Woset. What is Woset? Okay. Survey the designated location, defeat enemies that appear. Alright, so shit hit him back, I guess. Alright, get to fight some little random monsters real quick to protect the okay. Interesting. Oh, that was part of the event. That's not what I was supposed to be doing, but okay. We'll deal with that later. Benadryl kicking in, Ghost. I'm gonna leave. Okay. Appreciate you, fam. I feel you. My Benadryl is it's definitely pulling at me. It's definitely pulling at me. Oh, I didn't have to get there. Okay, I could have stayed on. Why am I going the wrong way? Going the wrong way. Okay. Oh, I guess I was supposed to talk to them. Thank you so much. Really hope the water extraction well set is worth these harrowing experiences. All the part of the fun, some might say, but I'd rather not be burnt to a crisp if it's all the same to you. Alright, let's do this again, I guess. Where are we at? To the east. Okay. All right, my friends, I bid you welcome to Logan's L Alpha. That's what we're gonna call it, L Alpha. Our destination do lie at the list top. Pray follow me. You would need to use this lift. You should look. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Even though the Benadryl is working to a point, it's still at times relatively itchy. Marvelous, simply marvelous. So this is where the magic, or science rather, takes place. The perfect environment to sustain life, artificially created. The knowledge we'll gain here will be essentially when we start looking for new stars for your kind to inhabit. Apparently, most of them do not even have air for you to breathe. You're all very lucky that Eartheries just so happens to provide everything you need to thrive. Or did mankind turn out that way because they are because of the available resources, I wonder. Either way, it is nothing short of miraculous, and I cannot wait to see more of it. Okay. This is all very wonderful, I'm sure, but I was rather hoping to learn more about your nourishment provisions facilities. In other words, where is the food? I believe both the knowledge and the consumables you seek may be found at Merrill Economics. The patients got their tail kicked if I didn't they? No. We got it down to 11 with 8 minutes to go. As I imagine, Singway and others intend to study every conceivable facet of this apparatus. Wouldst thou be so kind to escort our visiting culinarian? Yeah, sure, because I have nothing else to do. Yes, that sounds much more interesting. Hopefully, I'll be able to see firsthand some of the delicacies Urianger was telling me about. Even his incredibly vivid, if a bit too verbose, description cannot compare to sampling them myself. Not to mention, Eartheries will soon be no more, so I must learn all I can while there is still time. let us brook no further delay. Okay. So I guess I'm going here. I feel like I'm walking further away from the current. No, it's to the east. 280. No, that's just this way. Let's go this way real quick. To the northeast. Okay. Should be able to see it. There it is. There's 3 currents. I need one more. I'm going the right way, aren't I? I feel like I'm not. Bro. Yeah, now I'm going the right way. Man, I need his bike to pick up some speed. Okay. Oh, I definitely went the wrong way. Okay, we should have went the other way. I'm pretty sure it's a travel up right there, which is fine. Okay, this one here is where I want to go. There's a couple different tunnels in here. All right, this is the place. Yes, heady aroma was enough to guide me here, and I've spotted several of the fruit and vegetables featured in our compendium. I dearly love to try some, but I read that those who help themselves to a farmer's crop without permission are often caught and put into pies. Okay, I don't know about that one. Perhaps you could ask whoever's in charge if they would be willing to part with a few samples. Anyways, now company you keep him at your side in order to receive the objective, blah 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 blah. Okay, what a fine mess this is. Ah, it's you, the one who climbed down the mine shaft. I'd show you around if I could, but I'm rushed off my feet preparing for the exodus. And I'm not the only one. We've all got to find ways to do what we do down here, up there. First on the moon, then on whatever star the form decides will become our new home. It's all so sudden, so unreal. Don't you want to go to the moon? Well, it's better than waiting for the final days to claim us. But no matter how careful it's all planned, we'll never be able to take every variety of flora of fauna with us. Even the ones we can take may not survive in their new environment, so many species doomed to extinction. Sorry, that's not what you came to talk about, is it? Nothing quite so dire, I assure you. We really wish to sample a little of your produce, if we may. By all means, help yourselves. Much appreciated, my good fellow. So, where to begin? Okay. Oh, I know what these are. Grapes, yes? Let's see if they're as delicious as they look. So sweet, so sour. The taste is much like a ripe philosopher's carrot, and yet the texture is entirely different. It's the contrast between the outer skin and the fruit within is most peculiarly though far from unpleasant. Yes, I think I'll try another. It says, "Stay awake, Jody. The adventures await." The bot's crazy, man. Well, that's certainly given me food for thought, though in a far less versical manner than any philosopher's carrot. But tell me, what is your opinion of the grapes? They give you too much of an options. Two of them were like, "Yeah, they're all right." One was like, "Yeah, it's all right." Another one was like, "Nah, I'd rather do something else." Another one's like, over the top about how you feel about them. Yes, they are rather Morrissey, aren't they? And from what I've read, quite versatile too. Something about people stepping on them to make intoxicating beverages, as I recall. Anyway, that's enough about grapes for the time being. On to the next treat. All right. Orange by name, orange by nature. What came first, the fruit or the color? Who cares? Let's eat. Yes, that's equal parts sweet and sour as with the grapes, yet nothing alike. I may have to consult Uriandre about expanding my vocabulary. I simply cannot find words to describe it. If anybody's going to give you more words, it's going to be Uriandre. Perhaps what I'm looking for is bitter, yet this is all very complicated. You know, so many flavors, so many choices, and each individual with their own personal preference. Now I see why you all turn your nose up at the idea of eating nothing but carrots. Marvelous though they still are in my estimation, let no one say I said otherwise. But speaking of carrots, I've yet to sample any of the vegetables. Let's see what's in the field over there. Thank you for everybody hanging out tonight. I appreciate it. Ooh, excuse me. The color, the texture. There's something sort of enormous round carrots. No? In any case, proper nomenclature is less of a concern than the taste. Bleh! It's so hard and flavorless. I may as well be chewing a piece of wood. That's all but confirms it. These are nothing more than misbegotten failures masqueraded as good, godly carrots. Stop. Can't you see these are pumpkins? And no one with any sense would try eating them raw. You're supposed to cook them first. Do you not find it an awful bother? Far from it. Cooking is a joy unto itself. And what more, it broadens the range of ingredients that we may safely eat. But above all else, cooking allows us to draw out the full potential of our produce. Pumpkin stew has been one of my favorite dishes for as long as I can remember. Sounds terrible, actually. Then perhaps even the hardened blocks of plant matter can become as delicious as the orange I sampled. I wonder, though, if there's anything even more delicious. How about that yellow fruit over yonder? What a wonderful fragrance. With luck, you'll have the flavor to match. As I have no idea how these are eaten, I'll just bite into it. Ugh. My tongue. Is this poison? A lemon? You mean it's supposed to taste like this? Yeah, bro. They're sour. How can something so similar to an orange be so revolting? It may be some time before my palate recover from this ordeal. As such, I had best call an end to this round of sampling. Let's say our farewells and return to the others. Finished, have you? I trust you found something to your liking? I'm rather enamored with the grapes and oranges, less so the pumpkin, though I learned the hard way they're not to be eaten raw. Then there was the lemon, the deceiver. I still feel so violated. Haha, first time, was it? I'd hate for you to leave with that bad taste in your mouth in more ways than one, so I'll give you this lemon muffin I baked. If it doesn't change your opinion, nothing will. More lemon? Have I not suffered enough? Nevertheless, it would be remiss of me to spurn this opportunity to oof. Bit of sick came up there. Wow. Learn more of your inscrutable ways. Very well, lemon muffin, do your worst. This is delicious. Although I still detect a hint of lemon, it complements the sweetness of the dough to create a perfect harmony. I never would have guessed its vile bitterness could be so utilized so elegantly. My good chap, this is simply breathtaking. See, we rarely use lemon in the natural state, but it has a starring role in all sorts of recipes, and the same is true for many other ingredients. It comes down to making the most of the resources at our disposal, and sometimes that can even be the difference between life and death. No, that definitely is all. That's definitely over. That big game got out of hand quick. They cut it down to 11. Now it's back up to like 24. See, I know I won't be able to take every species with us. No doubt the form agonized over what was worth preserving and what will be co-signed to history. hard choices, but to make them we must. To make them we must if we were to survive. Don't know why the cheap view people always want to come to my stream, but there you go. That gets you the cheap view ban.
Ooh, you suck.
What up, Mutts? How you doing, buddy? So strength of will. Now I know what Heidelin sees in your kind. I actually have to look to see who does that because you and a few other people do that. Coming in. I might have to get you your own hater call out. Let's see. Mankind, the Lodoverse, we were both born from accumulated knowledge of the ancients. Chilling? That's good, man. I'm glad. Hope you have a great weekend planned. I don't know if you got any plans for Mother's Day this weekend, but hope those all go well as well. They learned all there is to learn about the nature of the sentient life and the fates of the stars themselves. Once the civilization has fulfilled the basic requirement for survival, it will inevitably seek to eliminate all forms of negativity and archive the perfection. And therein lies its folly and its downfall. For perfection is an unattainable ideal. 'Tis the paradox of the accumulated carrot. Yet civilizations since the immemorial have been deemed pursuit of the perfection as progress. Went to my niece's graduation from college today. Oh, nice, man. Congratulations to her. Congratulations to her, Months. They pay no heed to the cost incurred in for the futility quest, and all too often become the architects of their own demise, their dreams forever unfulfilled. What then is the alternative? The answer lies in knowing that our existence can never be perfect, to be content with what we have and make the most of it. Well, you missed earlier. I said I had to pop a Benadryl earlier today. My itching on my arms became super unbearable last night, so I bought some Benadryl, and I bought the extra strength kind. And normally I don't, the Benadryls don't bother me, but I didn't get much sleep last night, so I took like a 4-hour nap earlier today after I left the gun range. And then I got another one in my system now to help me from itching. Although I can feel like I want to itch, is much calmer than what it has been. So you'll see me occasionally rub my arm like that, or like on this one as well. And that's just kind of satisfy the feeling. But overall, I don't feel the urge to like scratch my skin off. So hopefully this will help whatever's going on heal by this weekend, so that when I go to work on Monday, I don't feel absolutely terrible. I'd hate to go in for my first day and then have to leave. Yeah, the gun range, bruh. Went and shot my 9. I try to go about once a month, if not twice. I gotta be able to shoot my gun. I'm also in the market for getting my wife one and my second one. I want one that's a little bit more carry friendly. The one I have is a little bit big for carry, and then I want the competition version of it too, if that makes sense. But those will all come in time. When life gives you lemons, make lemon muffins. Well, we say lemonade, but okay. Are part of my Erosian, but what in the 7 hells are you on about? And who are you anyway? Cooking Way at your service. I am here to help prepare for the trip to the moon. Months, do you participate in shooting guns? I know you've been a student for like as long as I've known you. But do you participate? And once you get there, you'll be able to try my carrots. I've been growing all different kinds. But don't worry, there'll be room for your crops too. We'll work together to preserve as many of these ethery special species as possible. if you're up to the challenge. Of course. Yes, of course. I look forward to it. Well, it has all been highly productive. Probably let's go and see if Irianje and the others have run out of machinery to inspect, shall we? All right. That ain't far either. Let me go turn that in real quick. Oh crap. Okay, let's do this. We'll travel down. Nah, that's not my thing. Okay, I get it. It really wasn't mine either. Then I don't know, recently I got into, like, over the last, I would say, year or so, I started getting into guns and started researching and went to the gun range. Me and my wife took a class to help us get used to it, and it really helped out a lot for myself, especially because I was a big no gun guy for a long time as well, and mainly because I didn't know how to handle one. It taught me how to handle one, and I go once a month at minimum. I try to and go shoot. I bought one for my birthday last year. It's a 9mm Canik Mete SFT. I'm sorry. But I'm also looking now at the new Canik Mete Prime. As it may be an EDC, it's a little smaller as far as framework, so it'll be a little bit lighter and a little bit easier to conceal. And then Canik also makes a tactical, Terran tactical, which is what John Wick used. A Terran tactical gun. So all those seem pretty fun to use. And then I don't know if I want to get an AR or not. I haven't quite moved that far ahead. We'll see how things start moving here in the world over the next few weeks, the next few months. Look, he's returned. I can't think enough. Okay, we don't have to read. I never read these. These are just to get the whatchamacallits. Okay. Go the wrong way. I did. I think I need to go up and around. Ooh-wee. Go in here and talk to the lift operator. That was most enlightening, especially the part with the lemon muffin. Actually, I was wondering, do you know of any other places farm? For their cuisine? Limsonosa is home to the cuisine guild in many less than savory establishments. The Far East had oodles and noodles. Yeah, let's go that way. First one. With that, I had time to visit. The more I learned of E3, the more I wish I could spare it from the final days. Pacers lost by 22 tonight. Way to go, Pacers. Way to beat them at home and then come home and lose. Way to beat them at their home 2 games and come home and get spanked on game 3. Alas, Highland's orders are to flee, not to resist. If only there was some other way. Okay. Let's see. Save Council. I'm just trying to see exactly where I'm at. I was moving a little faster than the last one was. Last stream was, so. Want to make sure. Want to see if we get to the trial and or dungeon. Our own efforts were rewarded. We now possess an embarrassment of educational riches. No doubt our guests' relentless pursuit of knowledge could occupy them and us for a fortnight. Alas, time is of the essence. Let us return to Charlene Hamlet forthwith. I shall gladly attend to each and every leopard there, should further questions within my power to be answered arise. Oh. Okay. Hey, thank you for everybody who's still here hanging out with me tonight. Appreciate it. We are streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. We are an affiliate on Twitch. If you have a Twitch, you have an Amazon Prime, you can sign up for a Twitch sub at no additional cost. It doesn't cost you anything additional, but it does support the streamer. Or you can give it to myself, or you can give it to any other Twitch streamer that you wish to give it to. Okay. Sigh. Yes, Duran, that was indeed me verbalizing a sigh to express my emotional state. Do you want to know why? Because I saw the reconstruction environmental data for the E3s at L Alpha. That's why. A forest so lovely and so leafy. There are all of your forests like that? Oh, let's see. Let's go with the first one. Oh. Gasp, I say. With a star so wonderful, it comes as no surprise that you're reluctant to leave it behind. I was a fool to think otherwise, to assume that the moon was something worth being proud of. How ridiculous we must seem to you, trying so hard yet achieving so little. Not at all. Thy works are no less worthy for thy uniqueness. I thought I heard a tiny voice. Tiny voices? Thank it. Poor Lops, they worked so hard. Celeste, they did. They did. They worked tirelessly. They thought they had the perfect setup for us. And to come find out that they is not quite as well set up as they did. How are you doing this evening? How'd this thou fare? Oh, I was able to glean a fair bit from the researchers while helping to move their cargo. Preparations have proceeded without interruption here. Despite news of the coming in, we have the forum's leadership to thank for that. That doesn't mean people aren't worried, though. Quite the opposite. Knowing disaster could strike at any moment, they hurry to complete their work, equally aware that a single error could be the difference between life and death, and we can hardly tell them there's no cause for concern. Perhaps not. Though aided by our godly growing way, we may yet find other ways to lighten their burden. Me? Be of use to people? I'm honored that you would think me so capable, but I am not sure that I am up to the challenge. Nevertheless, I believe in thee. If you say so, I suppose it can't hurt to try. I passed someone moping in the Western Plaza that looked to be in need of a helping paw. Perhaps you might start with him. They're turning the lops into chores. They're going to be warriors of chores too. Tis as good as a place as any. Come. Okay. Let's do like one around here. A trouble researcher. Okay. Oh man. Oh, can I help you? Well, came around, we tend to walk around and just help people willingly. It is you who helped me. Is my anxiety truly so obvious? A burden shared is a burden eased. Pray, tell us of thy troubles. Those little fellows do look like good listeners. I am an engineer, you see. And what they say of the ship, that it's the sum of decades of Charlan ingenuity, that it's built with peerless, elegant technology. It is all true, but I know that none of that's a guarantee. We've never before launched a starfaring vessel, let alone flown it in the great expanse. All the tests we've run have been on the ground. Only operational personnel and cargo will be aboard for the first voyage. But even so, if it fails us, then what can we do? And if it doesn't, it could fall apart on the next flight or the one after that. We've done everything we can to prevent that from happening, but it hardly matters. We've thought the Etherburner's design was flawless, too. And look how that turned out. Thou art familiar with these most daunting technologies, and doest thou hold the power to ally his fear. Oh, I am not sure about that, but well, maybe you could tell me if there's any aspects of the ship's design that you're especially worried about. Our ability to walk about and perform our task, for one. I've devised a means by which to employ gravity, a sappertorial spell to regulate the environment. But what if that's not strong enough? What if everyone floats away and begins crashing into things as soon as we left the star? Gravitation. Maybe I can be of help after all. Up there is not so different from down here, you see. The same rules apply. And if you consider them as part of one great big cosmo rather than separate places. Okay, so Frosty Tools says in 1973, significant steps were taken for British European realtors. Which prime minister led the UK into the European community that year? Find out when the ad ends. Yeah, it's ending. So Edward Heath was the Conservative prime minister who successfully negotiated Britain's entry into the European community in 1973, 3 years before I was born. Okay, back to the Final Fantasy story. I suspect both parties shall find comfort in this conversation. Yet, if Thancred's tale to be true, still others would benefit from insight born of experience. Might I prevail upon the Loporus to attend to them? An excellent ideal, if I do say so myself. There is naught we like more than to ease the hearts of the fine people of Earthrees and learn more about them while we're at it. Fully glad I am to hear it. Gather thy companions and bring them hither. Duran, thou hast a gift for finding souls in need of succor. Pray seek thee out the distressed and apprehensive and inform them that the help is at hand. Man, getting tired, getting sleepy. The words are becoming hard. I shall wait them here that I might introduce each to a suitable Luperate. Also, I got to go out and find people that need help and bring them back. Kind of bull. Oh, I do look forward to that. A place for every Luperate and every Luperate in their place. All right. Can I jump out? Okay. Apologies, but I am waiting for delivery. Whatever it is, I'll have to wait. It seems the Gleaner is too busy to chat for his benefit or otherwise. Well, then why was he the first one I seen? Bro, that is a huge area. Let's go this way. Oh, there goes somebody else right there. Gotta talk to find eight people? Good lord. Concerns? Nay, there's no point in worrying at this stage. It'll only make work go that much slower. The woman seems to be coping well. Awesome. Okay. Anxious engineer. We should be able to find one of those. That should be as far as we know. What am I thinking about? The medical facilities on the ship, of course. I designed them with the assistance of our sage and Churigans, but to imagine every illness or injury that one might face in that great expanse is beyond any of us, to say none of the effects that the living out there definitely might have on one body. The crew from the moon? Why did I not think of that? Alright, that's one. Here we go. Okay. Whole group of people around here. At the end of the world is nigh, yet the work goes no faster. Schedules are such temperamental things. Feasible one moment, utter bullocks the next. And yet, I've never felt so alive. This one is beyond your help. Only sleep can save her now. Dang. Alright, I've talked to 3 people that didn't need my help. They didn't need help. Everybody else should be people that need help. No. You. Yes, you idiot. Have you seen an envelope lying about? This imbecile refuses to give me the accompaniment I ordered without that bloody slip of parchment. Unless your friends have a spell to make me remember where I dropped my damn envelope, I'll definitely be more help than you. And you've wasted enough of my time already. Okay. So, awesome. 4 people who don't need help. My face? What's wrong with my... Oh, perhaps I'm a bit tense. I was tasked to ensuring that the proper Funa and only the proper Funa are brought with us to the moon. However, the accessibility of a few species is still under debate, and I can hardly make the decision myself when I know so little about the environment up there. Including the Loperus of our discussions is a wonderful idea. Absolutely will. Thank you. Perhaps their biology, good lord, itself might offer some clue as well. All right, that's 2 of 8. Okay. Consult our collaborators? I suppose that would be more effective than sitting here brooding. I'm attempting to calculate how much cargo we can consolidate into fewer trips should the ether burner make our original estimate unfeasible, but there are simply too many variables. I feel as if my brow will be turned inside out. But perhaps our lunar associates will have more insight into how much weight constitutes too much weight for our purpose. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, there was somebody over here. Bro. Alright, 3 of 8. We've talked to probably 8 people roughly already. How might I help you? My, what a lovely ideal. I too noticed becoming rather tense, so I rushed out to pluck some fresh and fragrant tea leaves. Now I need to only track down 100 or so cups. But don't you worry, I can manage. I hope your plan to cheer everyone up goes well. The woman is doing better than you are. Okay. You know what? Sometimes they be around the buildings. Okay. Alright, sorry. Glenn, is there anything bothering me? Well, I've been loading cargo for bells now. So my back feels like a void set played as a piano. My feet and knees are as drums and cymbals too. Just in need of a break. Great, awesome. Appreciate it. No, nobody over here. Somebody over here. Really? I can't hop that? Why could I hop that one and not the other one? Have you heard anything of what's on the moon? I have no doubt that we can make it up there, but the searching for a new star part of the plan sounds awfully vague to me. I asked the forum, but they will only tell us that our collaborators have everything under control. Forgive me, but I don't feel particularly safe wandering through the seas of the stars on gods know what made by gods know who. Okay. Looks like we got another one we can help out here. You mean to say that I can speak with them directly? Amazing. I hope they like questions. Bro. Okay, we'll go somebody else. So we got 4 of 8. We need 4 more. feels like a long waste of time. No worries, I believe I'm fine. Thank you. I've been confiding in my colleagues, and it's helped a lot. Can't recommend it enough. Okay. Is anybody outside? Don't look like it. Let's go. Kind of already done this, but let's go up. Is there anybody up here? Is there anybody on the back side? Pause.
Pause.
Nope, nobody over here. I usually don't make these this difficult. I feel like I've talked to like 10 people. Maybe more. And more than half of them didn't need anything. What up, the other? How you doing, my guy? My guy there is just standing there looking at stuff. This way. See if we can see if anybody over here. I think this is the outer part of this side. Let's see, are they gonna want to mess with me? Yep. I don't see anybody over here. Can't go in. Okay. Nothing that way. I wonder if I can go down. How we doing tonight? Honestly, I am tired. I picked up a heat rash last week when I was outside working on the tree box, even though it's not all that hot. And last night was probably the worst it felt, so I went on ahead and I'll go somebody else. Bro. We went ahead and picked up some Benadryl today. And because of lack of sleep last night and the Benadryl. Just leave me to my misery. The form can appoint someone else. So I apologize. I simply do not know what to do. How am I supposed to plot the arc if I'm already falling apart under pressure? So yeah, I took some Benadryl. I fell asleep earlier today. I took some more. And although it's helping with the itching, I definitely can feel the effects of it right now. You know, a Starship pilot that I might be able to speak with, truly? Well, yeah, bro. Well, there's no time to waste. They can help me prepare for this monumental task. All right, we got 5. We need 3 more. I don't think I can go that way. Okay. Bro, I feel like I've been all over this stupid spot. No. Go back this way. So how are you doing tonight, the other? How you doing tonight, the other black man? Can I go inside any of these buildings? No, I can't go on that one. Can't go on that one. Pretty much already been over here, but let's just take another dolly over here. See if there's anybody I missed. Hop over the wall. Yeah. I don't think there's. I think I did this already. We just want to double check, make sure I'm not missing anything. I don't see anybody over there. I didn't want to join the fate. Get me out of the fate. How much further over can I go this way? No, nobody over there. I don't think there's anybody over here. Back on the bike. Alright. I need 3 more people, but I've talked to like 14 people so far. I feel that it's been a long week. I went to the doctor yesterday because I had this pulsating headache for 2 weeks. No COVID. Well, that's good. No flu. Okay, that's also good. So I had some blood drawn. They think I was dehydrated. Gotta stay hydrated. Gotta stay hydrated, the other. Alright. Let's drive around this way some more. Bro, like the circle goes way over there. But I don't see anybody down there. This is where I wish I could fly so I could go up. I could see things a little bit clearer. Alright, is there anybody over here? No. Okay, down there. I've been over here. Facts, I thought I knew what dehydration felt like. I definitely didn't. Yeah. Oh, there's somebody right there. Boom. Need 2 more after this one. 56 bunches of weeds in the ground. 56 bunches of weeds. Rip one up and add it to the mound. 55 bunches of weed in the... What? I'm not neglecting my duties, I swear. I was in need of a little break, you see. But then I found myself unable to relax at all. So I went on a walk. Then there was these weeds in. Yeah, it sounds like you pleasant conversation partner and oh so fuzzy. Goodness me, that does sound like a much better way to relax. Okay. We need 2 more. 2 more. Oh, there's one right there. Bam. Hyperventilating engineer. Okay. But the guys, my chest is tight. Am I dying? Is this what dying feels like? Oh, do pardon me. I didn't see you there. There's no cause for concern, I assure you. No cause for concern, even though we may need to depart at any moment. And if the hull I designed buckles under the strain, the entire vessel may explode on launch, claiming countless lives and dooming all mankind. But that is highly unlikely. Yes, highly unlikely. Highly. Yeah, it sounds like you could use some help from. Our visitors came to help me triple check the structural flaws, you say? Why, that would be wonderful. I am breathing more easily already. Great. Gotta find one more. One more person. Ah, I didn't look this way last time. There was somebody up here. There we go. Blasted assistant. Where have they gone off to at a time like this? Beg pardon? But I have not the time for idle chit-chat. I need to reconfirm that the ether levels are consistent throughout the vessel machinery. And it seems I shall have to do so single-handedly. I swear when I find those assistants of mine. Bro, let these little rapping people help you out. The Lopers are willing to help? Why didn't you say so? Well, at least they won't moan about how they checked 24 times already and haven't slept in weeks. Lazy sods. God. Okay. Ooh. Alright. Heading down. That was a long time looking for 8 people when they gave you like 6 people who didn't necessarily need help. They were easier to find. Let's see, behold, Duran, through thine efforts, words have spreadeth throughout the laborious, verily to far greater number than we anticipated. Midway doeth gather more Laportis as we speak. I shall assign each in accordance with their skills, that the new bonds of friendship might be forged. Should greater matters require not thine attentions, watch over them, I prayeth. Bro, bigger. What do you mean, dire? Yeah, the world's getting ready to end. What do you mean, fam? More things to do than stand around here. Oh. Oops, didn't mean to.
Lively, isn't it? The town is about.
Give me a second, guys. I'll be right back.
Twould behoove you to consult with Sleepingway. As our moon's pilot, his advice should be most pertinent.
I'm impressed. Truth be told, I struggle to tell one from another. No offense intended, of course.
None taken. After you and your friends left Mare Elementorum, we spent no small amount of time with your Urianger. Oh, the conversations we had. He told us all about Atheris, answered our every question, no matter how trifling or trivial. Look! Every page filled to the margins with knowledge. When I first arrived, I was struck by how little I knew. It was daunting. But then I realized that were it not for Urianger and his teachings,
my current mission?
Gazing at your world and wondering what we've been missing.
We're trying to prepare everybody for the final days. They have to get ready to launch off this planet onto the moon and try to find a new home.
What would they think if they could see Urianger now? I dare say they.
But we also are trying to figure out a way to prevent it at the same time, so people can stay.
Master Louis Soir, Minfilia, Papalimo, and not to forget.
Oh there. Heard there was a visiting expert who we might bother with a few questions. I take it you'd be the one.
Yes, I am.
Oh, why was he so fiberglassed?
Wilson and Lovida. Charlian's foremost researchers in the
Ah.
field of teleportation magic.
There we go.
And Moonbreeder's parents.
It hath been some time. Tis good to see you in good health.
Likewise, old friend. Blavida and I were most honored to answer the call. Never expected this reunion, though, did we, dear?
I'll say,
If I'm not
the
mistaken,
nerve. Sending that letter, then running off to the gods know where. Do you have any idea how worried we were?
I'm sorry. 'Twas remiss of me not to deliver the news in person.
so Moonbreeder died, I think,
More than
in,
that.
I believe, in the Realm Reborn.
Our daughter was disillusioned after Master Louisoix left her behind. The day the Scions called upon her was the happiest I'd
It
seen.
might have been Heaven's Ward, but
She made
definitely
every choice.
one of the really early on story parts.
No one could have ever forced her to do otherwise. Don't blame yourself for her death. Celebrate her life. You know that's what she'd want.
If there is one thing we resent you for, it was that we could not be there to mourn her with you. Reading the words you penned in that shaky hand, we must have cried as much for you as we did for her.
I'm sorry. I truly, truly am. I knew not what to say. Knew not how to express my feelings. The poems and platitudes of wiser men, musings on sadness and loss, studied and memorized
This is filler.
and meaningless in the moment.
We could have done without this part.
Silly boy. We are all powerless before such
I
grief.
get it, but
Even now,
we could have done
try
without
as
it.
I might, the words escape me. But in our hearts, we know. We always know.
Excuse me.
I remember when you were young, how the lads teased you for choosing the company of books over others. Our moon didn't take kindly to that. Be nice to Urianger, she'd shout, and give them a walloping. No matter how many times we scolded her.
So we offered a suggestion. Rather than starting fights, why don't you be the bridge between Urianger and the others? She had to mull it over for a while.
Explains a lot why he talks the way he
Crossed,
talks.
Brow furrowed in intense thought.
He was
But
basically a
from that day
nerd.
on, she never let you be alone. She'd drag you outside to play, pepper you with endless questions, read the same books you read, all to try and understand you that much better.
New cast update from Ghost Office 4 Realm.
I'm sure it was
The
annoying
chat's
and
been
exhausting at
buzzing
the
with
time.
excitement as we approach
But she only
the
ever
epic
had the
conclusion
best of intentions.
Endwalker MSQ and the final
Look at you now.
Adventures
at the
are
center
on
of the
edge their
crowd.
seats, readily
The reason there even is a crowd,
Stay tuned.
having brought these people together.
Hey, the bot on Twitch is everything. You
You've
guys
no
should
idea
be
how
watching on
proud
Twitch
we
if you
are.
haven't. Go check it out on Twitch. Frosty Tools bot is pretty cool.
To see the boy our daughter trusted and believed in more than anyone grow into the man she always knew he could be. I can see her in you too. Feel her. She walks with you wheresoever you go.
Also, don't forget YouTube people. You do
So
have YouTube
thank
points,
you, Urianger,
channel points that you
for
can
being
use
who you
for
are.
things that are scrolling above my head right there. There's also some free commands as well. Twitch people, all you gotta do is click on your Twitch points, and then you can spend your Twitch points accordingly for those same things.
I think I can feel her too. The truth of her life. Not sorrow, but hope and love.
This moon breeder. She was important to him, wasn't she?
You could ask the man himself.
Oh, no. But watching this exchange reminds me how much I've yet to learn about your world. And its people.
You can live here your entire life and hardly learn a thing. And that's why it's too soon for this to end.
Okay. Oh, Duran, be assured that I am fine. I am. Fully glad to see them too after so very long. Glad they're still that it was in your company. As difficult as it was to accept their kindness, it would have been far harder had I faced them alone. Okay, moving right along. Quest took a little longer than the last couple, but that one right there was probably the longest one so far. Okay. We may not get to any of the fighting ones tonight. What is your next target game once you finish with what you want to do with this one? We'll never finish what I want to do with this one. I really need to get back on God of War and finish that one up, and then maybe Black Myth Wukong. There's also another game coming out, but they haven't given us a date yet. I shared it with Lefty. Him and I both thought it was a pretty good looking game. I want to finish God of War Ragnarok for you guys because I personally am not enjoying it, but I also started off not enjoying Final Fantasy XIV as well, and then by the end of the first expansion, I was kind of hooked. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what games I'll be introducing once I get caught up on a lot of the main stuff. A lot of this I'll probably go to Final Fantasy one day a week, and add in another game at that point. But I'll never be. Yeah, Black Myth Wukong was fun to watch. So enjoyed it. Yeah, I enjoyed watching the people play that one. Not playing it, we'll see. The God of War Ragnarok, not a game I normally back in the day I normally wouldn't have picked up and played. Black Myth Wukong, I would like to watch people play, but I never would have personally thought about picking it up myself and playing. I'm trying to see if it'll drop down to 40. I think it was $50 at one point. So I'm trying to see if it drops down to 40. If it drops to 40, I'll probably go ahead and snag it, and at least that way I have it in the catalog at that point in time. And then I don't know what else I'm gonna play after that. I'll be honest with you, I really don't. This game doesn't have an end, so that's why this game will stay in the rotation. We got Split Fiction. Me and the wife are still doing. I don't know if we'll do it tomorrow. Just we'll be prepping for Mother's Day. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure on that one. We may hit that up tomorrow since it's been a couple weeks since we streamed that. But we got to finish that one up too. We do like playing co-op games together, so that's always fun. Thou hast my gratitude for lending the courage to the Laportis. Not this disposed to the rest of their laurels. Several of our guests have elected to accompany my countrymen to their stations. Some few, many still come hither seeking counsel, and so I shall remain to aid them as needed. Excuse me. If thou art needed elsewhere, do not let me detain thee. As a matter of fact, I was hoping you might check on Alize. Last I saw, she was struggling to carry an enormous pile of boxes out of the west gate. I could go myself, but we both know whose help she's less likely to scorn. Not to mention that, much of my misfortune, I can think of several other things I ought to be doing until later. Alright, guess I'm gonna help. Okay, there's a blue quest over here. So we want to pick that up. At worst case scenario, we may not do it tonight, but I believe it is a current quest. Yes. Don't read these really. That was a good, pick that up real quick. Those are the ether currents we need to complete, along with a couple of ether current quests we need to complete. Oh, there's another one over here. Oh, that's probably part of, okay. We'll just do this real quick. If it's all right here, we can do it real quick. Okay. Quest up this way. Yeah, sure. Probably up these steps. There we go. Berliner is watching with interest. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I just want to close this one out. I try to do these off camera just because I don't read them. Sometimes they can get lengthy. But sometimes I pick them up and do them on camera just because they're easy to kind of get accomplished. Bro, I want to sing the song. I don't care. I just want to get through this. Okay. I think I just told him I'd rob him. Said I'd gladly take your money. Okay. Yeah, so I got one I've got to pick up, and I think one I'll probably finish off. Usually you finish the last one off with a an actual questing game. Okay. There's an unhappy child in my house. Supposed to be on the outside here. There we go. Okay. All right, let's go turn this one in. Right. Got that done. Alright, go back to the quest. I also gotta find one more southwest, so this way somewhere. Alright. That. I need to go this way. Thank you again, everybody, who's here hanging out with me tonight. Probably won't get to any real fights tonight. We may pick that back up on Wednesday. Yeah, we still got at least 2 more quests. I don't know. We could probably pick one up tonight. Depends how fast, how I feel once I get a little bit further. A little further. We might get to it tonight. Got an 8-man trial that's coming up, as well as another dungeon. I ran my bike into that tree. That'd have been bad. Okay. Coming up on the spot. There we go. Ah, Duran, what are you doing out here? You said you needed help, homie. No, I don't mind if you help me with boxes, but it's far from the most exciting of tasks. Are you sure? I mean, you know, what else have we got going on? The end of the world? Ha! Well, I appreciate the assistance. We need to get these to Aporia. Time is short, of course, but they are full of organic specimens and samples, so try not to be too rough with them. Alphanos should be waiting for us when we arrive. I'll see you there. Deliver crates of samples to Alphanode. You will have 3 minutes to complete the task. Should you fail to return to the starting location on there. Okay. I can't run. I just gotta walk. It's bull. Because I'm actually carrying the boxes, is that why? So we'll turn the boxes in, then we'll go. We should be close to the. I can't do anything else. Okay. Alright, return these boxes in and we'll check for the last ether current. And we'll collect that, and then I believe once if we do the trial, that'll give us our last ether current. Oh, you're helping with crates. Wonderful. You can put that there with the others. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Alright. You have my gratitude, but how did you come to be involved in this? Because, you know, that's what I do. I do chores. I'm the warrior of chores. Then I'm supposed to have thinker to think as well. If you're wondering why we were tasked with bringing these boxes to Apoporia to begin with, so was I. It turns out that this is the base of operations to sort those with the final say as to what is included in the ship's manifest can be found here. Father included, I suspect. That should be everything. You carried all of that at once? Are you trying to injure yourself? Oh, hush. They're lighter than they look, and not everyone has your delicate arms. I suppose we should let someone know that we've finished. Theo Papaladine is in the courtyard. We can report to him. Why don't you come along? You should get credit for your assistance at least, considering where we are. We might even learn something interesting. Okay. So now to the south. 519 yalms to the south. And there's the other Aetherite that I was looking for earlier. So we're going to touch the crystal. Okay, now attune to that one. Guys, it never ends, does it? Sigh. What can I do for you? We brought the samples from Charlotte Helmet, Series 110. The crates are by the entrance. Ah, thank you. I expected one of my colleagues, but we are dreadfully short-handed. Just a moment. You are Falschnacht's children, aren't you not? Are you not? Alphino and Alizé at your service. You're well acquainted with Father, I take it. Quite. I've been friends with your parents since our days at the stadium. I remember when you were just yay high, waddling hither and thither. Clearly, it's been quite some time since we've met. 'Tis good to see you again. Wielding your father's Noathis, no less? I don't know. I'm sure I'll jack that name all up. You know, our parents were... You knew our parents when they were young? What were they like? Pray, spare no detail. Yeah, because this is what we need to talk about right now. Okay. I should like nothing more to... excuse me, than to regale you. Alas, I am meant to be in charge here, and the reins of paperwork want for submission. We can help with that in exchange for sort of stories of our parents would never willingly divulge, of course. Very well then. There happen to be three sets of documents in need of delivery. So how about you each take one? Bro, I didn't want to take anything. This is their thing. This is what. Wait right there. You make yourself sick again, babe? Babe? You okay? Yeah. Okay. Alright. You'll find the foreign representative waiting to collect these near the southernmost structure. I hope I haven't kept her waiting too long. Never mind, Alpha Node and Alizé. I'm certainly they'll be back soon enough. Okay. There we go. Are you not one of the scions of the Seventh Dawn? I thought you were meant to be working on the ether burner. Yeah, just take this. I personally am not I am purposely not on it. Theo Papadino's paperwork. I was beginning to worry he had misplaced his quill. I appreciate your help in seeing these documents in my hands at last. As for your other task, pray keep this between us, but I sincerely hope you scions succeed. The Exodus is without a doubt the most monumental undertaking in the history of the Form, and so we must be circumspect in all respect. Risk is a privilege we cannot afford ourselves. At its heart, however, Ireland has ever been a nation of the curious. 'Twould be a tragedy indeed if we were the ones to stymie your pursuit of truth. Okay, great. Alright, that finishes off this quest. Quick and efficient, I dare say. You have a talent for this work. The twins' papers only needed to be delivered to elsewhere in the facility, so they should be returning at any moment. And of course, cutscene. Alright. Hopefully it's a talking cutscene. Ouch. Nope. We return with not a scrap of paperwork remaining on our persons, you will note. You both have my thanks, and my apologies for sending you on an errand far below your ambitions. Why, even as a babe, you struggled out of your swaddling clothes, and that is quite enough of that, thank you. It was compromising stories of our parents that we asked to hear, to reiterate. Of course. I've known your father for so long, I must have something. Well, as you know, part of why the Levour name has garnered such respect in the Charlotte is your family's storied history. You two can trace your ancestry directly to those who came aboard I'm sure I said that wrong. Hope, a lineage of few can claim. I never thought of much of it myself. It's not as though our forebears founded our nation. They were simply there when it happened. Nevertheless, it has traditionally been a point of pride. This is why, Nymph pronouncement renounce the way of the war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason has ever been our family's creed. Until your grandfather's time, Archeon Luis looked not to the words, but his deed. He asserted in defiance of his peers that choosing to save the great and the small from the rising tides was a true mark of our founder's virtue. Perhaps it was his expertise, his knowledge of ancient philosophy, and the fall of civilization that led him to conclude that the eschewed conflict at every turn was consign mankind to his doom. There will ever be conflict, and calamity will follow. Thus, to ignore the plight of those one mighty conceivably saved is not wisdom, it is indolence. You remember his words well, indeed. Archeon Luis lived by that personal creed and used every means at his disposal to bring succor to those in need, Charlatan or no. No one loved and admired your grandfather more than his son. Yet Folchenot could not reconcile Luis's deeds with the philosophy of the forbearers and his peers, a philosophy in which he believed so fervently, yet made a of his father, a pariah of his father. I'm sorry. Falstaff agonized over the contradiction for much of his life. God's father. A son may carry his father's blood, but his choices are his own to bear. Is it not always thus? God knows Falstaff's a cranky old goat, so I'm sure you butt heads often enough. Yet even so, you must know that you are constantly in his thoughts, every moment of every day, and that is no exaggeration in the slightest. You should have seen him when you were born, barely recognizable. He was with kind of a dumbfounded grin I'd not seen since he first took a fancy to your mother. He was practically skipping when he told me the news. Take my word for it, he loves you to an embarrassing degree. Bro, the story could be done later on. But he is so frustratingly single-minded. Once his decision that a given action is for the best, he will stay the course no matter who or what opposes him. A profoundly annoying habit when you're on the other end of it, as I'm sure you will agree. I'll say, thank you for your insight. When next we meet our parents, I shall mention that we spoke. Try not to get me into trouble now. I need the form on my side. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back to work. I have to make sure that those specimens you brought make it to their proper place, or the cranky old goat will have my hide. We can speak again later. Okay. Hell, you there. Okay. If the question's complete, what? Oh, it's Gara Tia. Gara, surely Kokoli has not driven you out of the forge already. Hey, what up, Messiah? Like drop. Appreciate it. If COC get wife, you let him loose. Yeah, no, it's not the wife, bruh. She probably wouldn't be too upset if I did a little bit, but nah, it's not her. It's more me. I've come to the rule. After being gone as long as I've been gone and seeing what's been going on, I've firmly concreted my decision of not returning to the contest. Won't say never, because never is a long time, but I can't see me doing it. I could use at least one of you, but I won't object to more. Unfortunately, Alize and I have prior commitments, and we've delayed too long as it is. Let's go free to play then. Yeah, free to play. It doesn't have anything to do with free to play or anything like that, Messiah. Zero to do with it, any of that. Got tired of being on that hamster wheel. That hamster wheel was deadly. It was deadly. Free to play would be the way. Yeah, free to play. It's like a well done steak, Jay. I can't do it. What about you, Duran? Can you spare the time? Perfect. This shouldn't take long. I leveled up. All right, cool. Once forged. In the event that our, and I quote, promise heap of adamantium falls right out of the bloody sky and into my lap, Master Kokoko wishes to be ready to put the proverbial hammer to the anvil at a moment's notice. To fabricate these parts, however, he needs the flames in Kokolio's forge to burn hotter. He sent me to increase the amount of ether being funneled to his furnace. The flow of the fire aspect ether in the laboratories is regulated by an elemental reactor south of here, to which I have borrowed the key. The adjustment will require 2 people to carry out safely, but I can explain the process when we arrive. It's like, this is where we part then. We'll see you in Charlotte and Hamlet once the anonymity arise, if not before. Anonymity. It is, but I could be doing way worse. What do you mean, Messiah? This is the way then. This way then. But I do appreciate everybody who's here hanging out tonight on a Friday night with me. We're pushing through the end of this storyline. We're almost there. We're almost there. Believe it or not, we are almost there. We're close, but we're not close. If it makes any sense to anybody. I probably got a few more streams left to kind of make it work. I got one thing I'm going to be doing off stream. This is my job quest, which I don't want to bore you guys with. I think we are going the right way, yeah. To the southeast. There we are. Okay. Setting forward to the southeast. Okay, good. I should be able to see it. Let's pick up this ether current, and then we'll finish off this quest, and then we'll see where we're at that point. Leave me alone. Stupid water thing. Stupid water thing. Fine. Get this work. You want to come up here, cause some problems. Stupid. Should just left me alone. The reactor is housed within the facility. I'll be the one to go inside and adjust the fire ether output. When I do, a rather large amount of water expanded ether will issue from the vent at the top. I expect this to attract a few elements, which we would both rather not be drawn into the reactor itself, trust me. Can I ask that you put down any that draw near? They'll pose you little trouble, I'm sure. Oh, okay. So you wanted me to just fight off some stuff. Wait here if you would. Okay. 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 Did everything go smoothly out here? It did. What did you expect, fam? I thought as much. No major complaints to speak of inside either. And the water ether appears to be venting properly. I expect Coca-Cola will have seen a difference in his forge flames by the time I return. Since I have you, there was another matter I thought to discuss with you. Nothing terribly important, merely something I've been considering. Part of this I share with everyone, yet you and only you have been to Olympus. As we have established, refined and emanating as a product of Allegan of the Emperor's twilight years, in fact. It was the material which saw much use as a part of the Allegan's efforts to extend beyond the bounds of the world. Dahlman, of course, being the most prominent. Of those who would push further, expanding Allegan's empire to encompass the heavens and the stars above, perhaps the greatest was its infamous technology, Amon. Amon wanted to travel the seas of stars. Let's go with that one. He did. He must have had his own reasons. However, for there is no evidence to suggest that he retained memories of his life as an ancient. He only joined the Asians once the empire was all but dust, as you know. If not his memory, though, what drove him to pursue the ideal with such fervor? This may seem far-fetched, but what if souls like minds have a personality, so to speak, a natural disposition towards which they are inclined? We know with little relative certainty that it was the gross decadence and inexorable decline of Allegan that moved Amon to resurrect Emperor Zane. The Emperor's people spoke lightly of death and destruction, experimenting on those they deemed beneath them to fill the emptiness in their heart. In fact, in facilitating Zane's return, Amon provided the languid souls with the means to free themselves from their mire of their own indulgence. Or would have had not Zane been convicted of his own death, that life itself was meaningless. Amon's desire for countrymen to conquer the heavens could only be means to the same end, to instill the people with new purpose. Like Hermes before him, Amon was appalled by how those around him lived, but could never bring himself to believe that those lives were devoid of meaning. And both of them sought that meaning, that hope in the distant stars. Such is my theory, anyway. Ultimately, it is the consequence of their actions which matter. Their motives are of no moment, and yet to reach those stars on wings of emanating, to travel to the ends of the creation and beyond, the promise of hope everlasting, that much I do understand. A lot of talking right now, but enough musing for now. Why don't we see how Coca-Cola is getting on? Okay. How far do I have to go? Not that far. All right. Right. Whoo! I can feel those flames blazing from here. Glad you found someone capable, Graha, but there is not much left for you lot to do. Lest you can conjure up that refined anonymity any faster. Okay. I think... Yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave it. Because this one involves a trial and it's 2 hours in. I'm not going to lie. I'm super duper struggling at this moment with the Benadryl in the system. But we are there. We are... it's the last part of level 88. Then we have level 89 and 90 to do. But we believe it or not, we are getting closer to the end of this particular one. Thank you guys for hanging out with your boy tonight. Let's bring this in. I don't really have much more to talk about tonight. We might be back tomorrow with Split Fiction and talk to the wife and see how she feels. But if not, then we'll catch everybody on Wednesday. Back for some more of the Final Fantasy Endwalker storyline. Where we definitely will be jumping into a trial and a dungeon within the first two quests. So there'll be some good fights going on in there. To do that as well. But thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Abdo is up and streaming. If you guys happen to be on there and go over there, shoot him a hashtag dog raid for me. For those watching on Twitch, I'm just going to send you guys over. Intox Gamer IEC. So there's that. And we will join you guys over there. Until then, it is your boy Ghost Dog signing out.